Sanders. He's going to do a number on the crowd here.
We are in the home of Steve Zucker in Winnetka, Illinois. A very happy Deion Sanders. The most important thing has already been decided: what number he's going to wear. What number is that, Deion?
21. We had to get a 2 in there somewhere.
Falcons' first-round choice, Deion Sanders.
Prime time's coming to Atlanta, huh?
I want everybody at the airport. I want everybody in Atlanta there.
Prime time. Deion, the greatest player ever played football.
Deion Sanders blazing around second. Tapper goes over to get the ball, the throw to the plate, gets on by. Sanders flies over, and now he is safe at home.
He's high-stepping. He's to the 10. He walks the walk and scores a touchdown.
I practiced like I played, so when I played, it would be practice. See, me, you could call it cocky, you could call it arrogant, you could call it what you want. You could be my homie, but when we got on that practice field, I was gonna try to embarrass you. You could be my boy, but when I got on that practice field, I wasn't cutting no deals. Because just in case your mama was up there, just in case one of my girls was up there, just in case my mama was watching, that was the expectation.
You gotta look good, you play good, pay good, pay good, live good, you know, eat good, die good.
Primetime, Neon Deion. The hype, the athleticism, the biggest moments, and the controversial, brash style that came with it all. Sanders played for multiple teams in his 14-year career and is regarded as one of the greatest professional and collegiate football players of all time. A lot of people don't know that Sanders got his nickname Primetime on the basketball court and not from the gridiron. After a 30-point scoring downpour in one game, he earned the nickname that would be synonymous with Deion for the rest of his life. Primetime is only one of 2 players to score a touchdown 6 different ways. It's really impossible to try and compare any other NFL player in history to Deion. There's just no one quite like him. Deion himself kind of summed up what it was like to watch him when he said, "Some people will come out to see me do well. Some people will come out to see me get run over. But love me or hate me, they're still gonna come out."
We need it. The kids need it more than anything. The coaches need it more than anything. Because you got to understand, I'm a little different. I'm in a moment, okay? Every time I talk about this, I almost break down. No one ever came to see me play in high school. My mama was working. She was hustling. My father was doing his thing. He made some gains. My stepfather never came because he was doing his thing. So that allows you to understand prime. So I had to build up this dude inside of me that ain't need nobody. So I ain't need your hand claps. I ain't need your you go boys. I ain't need nothing from you. Because I had to look in that mirror and reconcile with him. Ain't nobody gonna be here. Ain't nobody came to see me play basketball, all state. Ain't nobody see me that come play baseball. Ain't no folks coming to watch you play baseball. And I'm getting drafted by the Kansas City Royals right out of high school. So ain't nobody came to support that cause. So I really don't need that. But some do.
Right.
So I can't put you in the box with me to think you feel like I feel and you could go like I go because I'm running on a different type of fuel than you are. But my coaches may need it. My kids may need it. My administrators may need it. And I got to understand that they're not me. And that's been the hardest thing, to reconcile that we totally different, man. We move totally different. We think totally different. We are totally different. And I've come to grips with that in who I am. And I'm not all right, but I sure ain't all wrong. I sure ain't all wrong.
There's a sign behind you that says, "I was called by God to make a difference." What does that mean as it relates to Jackson State?
That means I was called by God himself, not a man next to the man, but God himself, to come here and provoke change. And when I say change, I mean change. I mean come in one way and leave another. Change. I mean think one way and then think another. I mean change. Look one way and then look another. That's what I mean by change. Come in here flat like a dollar bill and come out 4 quarters. I mean change.
How do you make change?
Well, you got to be disruptive with a cause, with consistency, with a plan, people generally are not comfortable with change. Change just disrupts a whole lot of comfortability. And oftentimes, you got to be willing to be that guy, willing to risk it, willing to attempt it, willing to secure it to accomplish your goals. And I'm more than willing, and I'm more than able, and I'm more than capable.
What's the change you want to see?
Where do I start? Brother, I could alliterate this thing and start with two. It's not just about winning. We gonna win. It's about making things better for everybody. Not just Jackson State, Mississippi Valley State, Alcorn, Grambling, FAMU. I could keep going. For everybody. This ain't just about us. This is bigger than that.
See, people think it's just about
it. Ain't just
Jackson.
about, why would we? You think I just came? God just called me here to Jackson State to make a change? No. God called me to Jackson State, HBCU, SWAC, college football at this level, FCS, to make a change. This is way bigger than the natural eye could see and fathom.
More excited and happy for Deion, who's a very good friend of mine. We talk constantly. Had an inclination that this might be happening, but I just felt that he should be the one to break the news about what was going to happen in his future. I'm more excited for him than I am for Jackson State. And I think that Jackson State should be sad. Be excited, be happy for him, because he gave you the blueprint and showed you what you could be, what you could become. Mm-hmm. And you're more than a head coach. Deion did something that very few coaches are able to do. He leveraged his relationships. Skip, no football team had more uniforms than Jackson State except the University of Oregon. Under Armour, every single week they got new helmets, they got new unis. He did this with Walmart. He took $150,000 of his salary and helped finish building the facilities.
He did.
He leveraged his relationship with American Airlines, so when they had to travel great distances, they flew American Airlines. Mm-hmm. He had a great relationship with Michael Strahan, so he says, hey, Stray, can you do me the solid? Hook the boys up with jackets and slacks, so we don't look like an all-tournament team when we're on the road. Mm-hmm. Some guys got on sweaters, some guys got on shirt and ties, some guys got on hoodies, some guys got on Jackson State paraphernalia.
Yep.
He did that.
He did that.
And still, we get opportunity. We say, ooh, we want guys to get opportunities. We want our black coaches to get opportunities. He gets an opportunity. He takes the opportunity, and now you mad. He brought
who's mad?
A lot of blacks that blow up, they're upset, man, he lied. You see you see how they hold us more accountable? They don't never say
wait, who's they?
I'm talking about my community.
Okay.
White people not. I'm talking about us. They know what I'm talking about. Blacks are mad a lot, but look at what he's did. He's brought eyes to HBCUs, Skip. There wasn't nobody talking about HBCUs, especially now. Mm-hmm. They're on television. That's because of him.
So Sanders is now being criticized as a so-called sellout for leaving Jackson after many envisioned him altering the landscape of sports at historically black colleges and universities. He did land top recruits. He went 27-5 in 3 seasons and just won the school's second Southwestern Athletic Conference title in 2 years. Sanders will now try to replicate that success in a more competitive league with a Colorado team that just went 1-11. So joining us now, the perfect person to talk about that, Bomani Jones, a third-generation HBCU graduate who went to Clark Atlanta University. He's also the host of Game Theory with Bomani Jones, which will kick off its second season on HBO and HBO Max in January. Wow, that is a giant lead-in to you. You have lots of accomplishments. Thank you this morning. So, this is, I kind of feel like we're talking about family business, like in front of everybody, you know what I'm talking about? Because there's a long tradition in the African American community about HBCUs and whether you go, whether you're not, and this. Why can't Deion Sanders just choose to be with who he wants to be?
Oh, he can go take whatever job he wants, but when you come into the first job and sell the idea that you are going to be the savior of HBCUs and you are going to raise the playing field, not just for Jackson State, but for everybody else, and you're going to do it because God told you to do it.
He said that.
Yeah, he said that. He explicitly said that God sent him to do this. So then when you leave, people are going to ask questions about what exactly it was. Now, I don't go into the sellout place necessarily, But I do think, he's the monorail salesman from The Simpsons. He went in, he sold the big dream. Now, if you paid any attention, you knew the dream he was selling wasn't possible. It was not an achievable one that he had. But he sold it, and he got people to believe it, and then he chucked the deuce and left. Part of where I disagree with him is so much of that was singular to Deion Sanders. Like, we do have to admit that he is the charismatic individual. Like, just because Deion could do it doesn't mean that everybody else can do it. That's the first part. The second thing, they're going to play in the Celebration Bowl, I believe, next week in Atlanta against the champions of the MEAC. They played in that bowl game last year. South Carolina State blew their doors off in that game. Do you know the head coach at South Carolina State? Can you name a single player at South Carolina State? I can't. It brought attention to Deion. It brought attention to Jackson State. You weren't going to bring attention to all these other schools in the time period that he was there. Like, if he was really going to accomplish that, that's a 10-year program.
Didn't he do that at least by starting it? And now, as Shannon was saying, is it up to others to carry it forward?
If he can go find another Deion Sanders, right? Like, that's the thing of this, is that if you're talking about establishing something long term, right? Something that is sustainable, the idea he got it started, now you go do it.
Yeah. But aren't you making his blueprint argument? Because there are others who are in the NFL or former NFL players who are charismatic,
who could do it,
and who could step into
Deion
other
Sanders
HBCUs.
Has spent the last 35 years telling us there ain't but one Deion Sanders, and now he's telling us go find somebody else to do what Deion Sanders does. You can't have this both ways. I don't judge him for taking the job at Colorado. They probably increased his salary by something like 15 times, right? I totally get that. It all makes sense. But what he did was something that college coaches do all the time, which is you have to sell people 4-year, 10-year plans when your plan is always 1 year at a time. That's the only way that you could really pull that off. And so he came in and he sold a long-term vision for what was going on at Jackson State, but his goals and ambitions were always to be a Power 5 head coach. My take has always been he went to Jackson State primarily because he wanted to be a head coach, but didn't want to ever be anybody's assistant coach. So he had to find somebody that would give him a job and make him a head coach, and so he could have that on his resume, and then he could take that to try to get the job that he actually wanted. Jackson State was the place that could do it, and he did a lot of good work while he was at Jackson State. But all the bigger, grandiose notions of what he was doing for somebody else, no, it was what it always is. He did it for Deion, and that's fine if you don't tell us that you're trying to do this for somebody else.
But can't he do both? Can't he go to a program and be there for 3 years, only have 5 losses like he did, and bring the attention? Maybe the next person won't be, prime time. They won't be as charismatic as he is, but he still did bring attention to it. And what I've seen from the athletic director and other people is they were grateful for him, and they talked about him going on, and something he signaled because of the financial disparities here.
No, he's very good, but I think the magnitude of the financial disparity is so much greater than anybody realizes. I think the magnitude of the financial disparity between HBCUs and other FCS schools, the smaller division in Division I, is bigger than people realize it is. So there's room to criticize him for the way that he has left and for the fact that his initial rhetoric is not in line with his ultimate.
Monty, what would you have him do? What would you have the man do?
Oh, well, I wouldn't have come in the first place and said that God sent me here to fix HBCUs, and God decided that in the middle of it you were supposed to leave, right? I mean, like, the thing I've said is maybe God wants 10% of $5 million and not 10% of $375. If God can do math, I can understand why it is. He sold a dream and then walked out on the dream. People have the right to be critical of that. I also would have taken the job that he took at Colorado, right? It's not a judgment of the fact that he took the job, but this is not in line with what he told us for all these years.
I'm not criticizing, and a lot of times we start to criticize for what someone didn't do, but they forget all the great things that you did do. When you heard the criticism that was coming, that you were leaving, what went through your mind?
Well, people are hurt. And when people are hurt, oftentimes their first response isn't the response that should be given.
Okay.
They say things out of emotions and anger, but I listen. Because when a person says stuff, that's what they really feel.
Okay.
When they're hurt and out of emotions and anger. And I just thought to myself, if I didn't know who I was and where I headed, and if I didn't know the Lord, I would believe some of those things.
Okay.
And I know God.
Right.
And I know when he speaks. And it's funny that when I first came and I said, God told me to come here, they didn't believe it.
Right.
But if I say, well, God said it's time for me to go, you still don't believe it. So what do you believe?
Right.
And what you should believe is, I'm led.
Are you the change agent? Are you the ultimate change agent?
I make a difference. I truly make a difference. I make folks nervous, man. I get folks moving in their seat. I get folks twirling their thumbs. I get them thinking and second guessing themselves. You know, have you ever been so clean that you walked in and somebody looked down at you, then they looked at themselves, they had to check themselves because you were so clean? I have that effect.
That's the vibe you're getting.
No, I have that effect.
No doubt. Good enough.
Legendary, man. Motivational purposes only, man.
Hey, man. Ooh, the boys just got a new one. Only 20-year-old I seen with a Rolls Royce and a Lamb truck.
This is, we gotta win, Al. We gotta win. That's what this is. Charlotte told me they wanted me to see something. So they wanted me to see this. I think they're gonna bless me.
Okay.
When they leave.
So you want to wander, or you know I ain't stingy.
I know if Daddy getting this blessing, I can only imagine what you gonna get me. Duh.
Come on, bro. You know I ain't stingy, bro. You know I take care of my people.
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm waiting too.
No.
There's a nice one down here.
Let's just enjoy the view right now.
You ain't gonna do that for me?
Let's just enjoy what we got here. We'll think about that later, though.
It's like a.
You don't take care of your dad, man?
What kind of pop? You look good every time I see you.
My dad told me that's where you get that from. Don't take care of your pop? Oh, you know what? I know why he not saying that.
You can keep it uncovered all year long.
Figure that out.
I ain't got nothing to do with y'all conspiracy.
I don't know what he talking about.
I ain't got nothing to do with no conspiracy, y'all got. I get what he getting at, but I ain't got nothing to do.
I got an idea, but it ain't, you know, I ain't going all the way.
Huh?
Guess I was born or
It's a Bucky suite.
Nah.
It's a waffle, dude. The son can just decorate and do what he wants.
Yeah.
My good old.
Yes, sir.
Makes me dream. See, every once in a while, when you're so busy inspiring others and motivating others, encouraging others, you need something to inspire you.
Yes, sir.
It's right here. It makes me want to go get it. Makes me want to work. Makes me want to focus even more. It makes me want to make sure I dot the I's and cross the T's because
Or just stay sitting out.
this is me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's heated and touch screens, so you can have looks for cars.
Boy, your Lambo look different from Daddy Lambo.
Just the S.
Ooh.
2023.
Look,
brand new.
See, now y'all gotta know. We ain't going nowhere. Where we going? They say he going somewhere, but
Nah, for
not
sure.
getting this. Not the boys getting this for.
Nah, for sure.
Where we going?
You can't go nowhere.
Going to get more rings and things.
Rings and things. I like it. Shador said, why you think my Lambo look different than the one Daddy, the one Daddy had?
I don't think they look no different.
I ain't trying to be
Lambo
messy.
is a Lambo.
I'm just telling you what Shador told me to tell
The
you.
only difference in them is one gray and one is black, and he know better than getting gray cars. We always drive black, and he want to branch off, like he branched Ricky. Watch yourself.
That's it.
Slippery good old?
That's cool.
Because he's no good old son. If I fall, y'all fall. My son gonna dive up under me to make sure I'm good.
Yeah, you got to, man.
First son. He's in my phone up under. First son. These are for animals. These are for cows.
I was about to say.
Cattle guards. Make sure the cows don't get on your property.
I look at not just the beauty of everything, but what I would have to change to fit who I am. This is what I like. I like this shot.
Yes, sir.
Look at that over there, son.
That's beautiful.
I'd be out here eating breakfast right here every day.
This is crazy.
This is what you think, son?
No, I think it's beautiful.
I'm happy, man, that you know,
And the lake right there.
You guys are chipping in, trying to take care of me. I like that.
Got to, man.
I love that about y'all.
You took care of everybody for a long time.
Y'all are natural givers.
Yes, sir.
Wrong.
This is cool, son. I'm looking at the view. Very inspirational. I like it.
Look at that. You know what's awesome though? My 3 sons had the thought process that they wanted me to see this. Because y'all want to make sure I'm straight.
You know I'm good for it, dog. I mean, we. Yeah, I say we.
Yes, y'all, you and y'all. Bucky, y'all want to
you
make
behind
sure.
the camera.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Bucky ain't going nowhere. Bucky with daddy.
Yeah.
You sure about that, dog?
Yeah.
Come join the team.
Bucky gonna stay with daddy. But for y'all 3 to just, want to put it together so that y'all make sure I'm straight when y'all gone is, that's unbelievable, son. It almost provokes a tear. Look at that, man. It's one thing to look at the mountains, but it's one thing to be in the mountains. We're in the mountains right now. And you know how much I love water, so just to walk and see this view. Pool.
Your life complete now, man.
We gotta win. That's when it's complete.
It's gonna happen.
I appreciate this though. My 3 sons.
Just take this as a good gesture.
My 3 sons want to do this for me.
Yes, sir.
Wow. This is awesome.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
Which one of y'all really came up with the idea to say, we're gonna make sure daddy's straight?
Who you think?
Bucky, you gonna take that?
No.
Okay.
It was Shiloh's idea.
Oh, y'all gonna have to fight Shallow's ass.
And really, you're giving stuff your pockets. They really are. You're a salesman.
He said I'm a husband.
So they said they like the color of his car. They said they like the color.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Thank you all. Greatly appreciate it.
Of course. It's so nice to meet you. Out here.
Glaciers all out.
What's up, bro? When they leave, we get a music video real quick.
Wait, up and I shake the room.